Hello there and a big warm welcome to this week's episode of Colors of India. We begin as usual with a quick look at our main stories this evening. A date with Santa, opera comes to town, and some special Christmas treats. It's the time of giving, sharing and celebrating the very spirit and festival of Christmas, and we've arrived there in the center of all that shopping mania.
As Christmas is around the corner, so are the decorations and jubilations. One of Delhi's poshest malls is all geared up to celebrate the winters with its Christmas market. With a long array of stalls to ponder on, the open market is inviting and fun.
Everybody should celebrate it. It's like we have so many probably cultures and everything, and people should celebrate it. That's how. And it's really nice, getting together, enjoying yourselves.
From Christmas decorative items up to the little winter essentials like shawls, the market is well stocked. The star attraction is the handmade chocolate stall with delicious treats in all shapes and sizes.
Kids nowadays, they don't want to have healthy food. So we have honey loops inside and we've coated it with chocolates and white chocolates and strawberry cream. So it would be good for the kids to have it, and also the parents would feel happy, that the kids are having something which is really healthy. Same way we have these Marie chocolates. They have marigold biscuits inside. So marigold are low cholesterol, very healthy biscuits, and we've coated them with chocolate.
Christmas also means time for bells and candles. With fresh ideas, candles and bells underwent a new look. Back structures were fixed with LED lights, making them long-lasting glowing candles. And with bells attached to designer iron structures, Christmas at Select City turned out to be rather swank.
Christmas is growing every year. I would see people are now more aware. Initially, probably 10 years ago, it wasn't. I would always feel Christmas was more in Bombay and less in Delhi, but it's growing. And we are hoping.
And if this wasn't enough, the mall had fixed a 3-story long Christmas tree right at the middle, giving it a shiny silver look. And of course, even Santa couldn't give this one a miss.
They do say it's not what you give but the thought that matters. But in case you do want to give something to your loved one, you know where to head to. Moving on, theatre is that space, that forum which allows you to experiment, to work and build on new ideas. And we bring you a puppet theatre production that does exactly this.
Figure theatre is a new form of theatre known today. It is being practiced in Europe as well as Japan with the name object theatre. Noriyuki Sawa fuses Japanese bunraku puppetry with modern-day Czech figure theatre, creating a completely new genre. In this, the puppeteer and the puppet are together on stage, complementing each other's performances.
I studied this style like I'm like manipulating, operating puppets, but I'm also acting sometimes. So difficult is this combination. Sometimes the focus of audience must be on me, sometimes it must be on puppet. So I'm trying, I'm still not so excellent, but I'm doing my best to move their focuses.
As his first piece, Noriyuki Sawa presented The Legend of the Forest, where he plays the soldier's soul while controlling the puppets representing the soldier's body and the white woman. Unlike other puppet theatre, the puppeteer here is the sound and soul behind a puppet. The puppeteer himself feels and experiences what the puppet has to feel.
There are different kinds of elements now in this stage, and I find it's very interesting. Yeah, and also the sound, the role of sound or music is very important.
Using a piece of black cloth to cover his face, he blends himself with the background and becomes the puppeteer all at once. For his puppets, Sawa uses everyday materials like sponge, cardboard and umbrella to create beautiful puppets. Star, he uses a sponge and a cardboard backdrop to explain the journey of a little star. Similarly, in Sky, he uses stone and old umbrellas which he crafted to look like birds.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, this was different. I mean, this is not the puppetry which we have in our traditional Indian contest. It was different where, I mean, the performer himself was performing with the puppetry, and this was just phenomenal. And I was thinking it's basically for children when I came. I mean, I was not expecting such a phenomenal show. Brilliant, brilliant. It was a good stuff.
With his last piece titled Seed, he dedicated it to all the women. The piece showed that since birth, what different roles women play in life. With his small but meaningful stories, Sawa captivated the audience till the end.
After that absolutely entertaining and innovative take on puppetry, it's time for a quick break. Do stay tuned, there's more on the other side. Coming up, an opera experience, followed by a cake baking ceremony. Welcome back. In the past, we have introduced you to different classical styles of opera. This time, we bring you a dramatic and comic one.
The setting at the Kamani Auditorium was different this time. The front portion of the stage was occupied by musicians wearing proper black attire, playing away their instruments as they are guided by their music director, Antonio Giovanni Bono. Following his notes, the music started with a happy tone and gradually took a dramatic turn, following which the curtains rose, presenting an Italian opera. The Nimrana Music Foundation, along with the ICCR, had organized a presentation of Gaetano Donizetti's Don Pasquale.
Questa è un'opera assai complessa, assai articolata, che presenta tutti gli elementi tipici dell'opera italiana. Abbiamo pensato che potesse essere un'opera che proprio per la sua tipicità potesse andare bene per il contesto indiano, per avvicinare questa gente all'opera. Un'opera assai brillante, però che ha anche elementi sentimentali, quindi fonda in sé tanti elementi importanti.
Directed by Paolo Paniza, the opera narrated the story of an old Don Pasquale who wanted to disinherit his nephew, Ernesto. The story takes a twist when the Don is tricked by his doctor, Malatesta, to marry his sister Norina, who actually loves Ernesto. She makes the Don's life miserable. Being so dramatic in nature, it is compared to the dramatization in Bollywood movies.
The whole idea is to start studying this new art, where you have an orchestra and choir singers and sometimes dancers also who join. So the whole idea is it is close to a Bollywood movie in that sense, as you were saying, because you have so many things on stage, you know, from the stage, the sets, you know, the costumes, the makeup, and all these different artists working together. So this is why the comparison is here, but we would love to have some real Bollywood show on stage, you know, that would be fantastic to see these days.
This was a comic opera of 3 acts. The language was kept Italian, but with the translations available on screens, the opera was rather enjoyable. The set was kept very grand using a massive structure. The setting followed the elite decor of an Italian opera.
Especially opera, there's this very stereotypical view of it, in the sense, you know, a fat woman in a Viking helmet screaming her head off, and that's not what it is. It's, you know, it can be funny, it can be moving, it can be tragic, and that's it. And it's this beautiful mix of theatre and music, and it's not even a mix because it's 100% of both, which is that it's 100% theatre and 100% music, because both are happening simultaneously and constantly. So I think it's a very interesting art form, and like all classical music, it should be heard. I hope that people will take an interest, and I think they probably will.
One of the most exciting moments was when the stage was filled with more than 20 people dressed as the Dawn servants. All sang together.
always after a show this grand, I wish we had an opera house here in Delhi. But the lack of one has not stopped this city from being the cultural hub of India. And the recently concluded Youth Festival was a true testimony of this fact.
Talented young artists from various schools in Delhi presented shows that were a concoction of their personalities. Dressed in Nawabi attire and with an air of nazakat, the students presented Qawwali, an art form that is hundreds of years of old, started by Amir Khusro, who is called the father of Qawwali. Presenting one of his famous compositions, Chhap Tilak, the students gave it a new variation, making a fantastic chorus.
The whole idea is very beautiful, and it's very good that we are motivating the youth, because it is the youth finally which needs to be empowered to put forth the best of India.
Another group of students presented an act inspired by Bengali culture. From a depiction of Durga Puja to the mention of Tagore and his Shantiniketan, they encapsulated Bengal on one stage.
The fact that they performed in front of this huge crowd at the youth festival, I think it has only boosted their own morale and their confidence, and it's a fantastic thing. And I really thank the government for doing this, for giving an opportunity for these children who would otherwise never get it.
Butterflies, an NGO for sheltering street children, dedicated their show to 100 years of cinema, where the dancers performed to evergreen musical numbers. The show ended with a bang. Cypher, a modern-day band, made the crowd dance to its rhythm.
Young talent and dreams. But as usual, it's time for us to take another small break on Colors of India. Don't go anywhere because the best is yet to be. It's time for those cakes on Food Trail. Welcome back. It's Christmas season and Food Trail this week is about the festive spirit and also those cakes which makes Christmas very special. For those dedicated to saving lives at St. Stephen's Hospital, Christmas is the only time of the year set aside for a little bit of fun. It all starts with a Christmas party for the children of the staff. There are fun games, stories, and lots of cheer.
They come together for an afternoon of fun, games and frolic, and we also try and help them to realize why they're coming together. And we have so many other programs. We have the hospital choir which gives a couple of concerts. We have the staff which has a competitive entertainment. So they sing songs, etc. They're competing. And we take our staff around on carol rounds. So we go from house to house in the campus, caroling in all the various houses, and that's followed by staff dinners. And I mean, you name it, we've got lots going on at this time. Sometimes it gets pretty tiring, believe me. But it's a good way to remember Christmas.
Meanwhile, at the Dietary department, the bakers get ready to prepare the next batch of cake. Eggs, flour, dry fruits soaked in rum, sugar, and that's where I come in. I get to participate in the cake making ceremony. Maida has gone into a batter of eggs and sugar, and they've also put in a little bit of baking soda. तो आप मुझे बताएंगे ये जो अंडे पहले से आपने बीट किए थे, कितने अंडे थे? 30 अंडे। 30 अंडे में कितना किलो केक आएगा? 5 kg केक. 30 अंडे for 5 kilos of cake. Wow. In goes the flour, and once it becomes a thick, gorgeous mixture, they pour in the chocolate sauce. The mixing process itself takes about an hour. All that beating has made this a very thick, light brown pulp of sorts, and the next step is it goes back into the oven. Meanwhile, another batch of cake is all packed and ready to be distributed. Everyone in the dietary department takes home a delicious cake.
Feliz Navidad. The tradition dates back right from the last 35 years, and I've been here since the last 30 years. So the joy and the celebrations of Christmas is at par with a lot of other places here. The different kinds of cakes we bake is, of course, the plum cake, carrot cake, banana cake.
Mid-November or end of November, the preparations were purchasing, cleaning, washing the dry fruits and various ingredients, cutting, chopping, and then by second week of December, the cake making process begins.
The cake batter is now ready, and this is transferred into tin containers of various sizes. It is soon wheeled out and in they all go into the oven for another 40 minutes. The staff at St. Stephen's Hospital's Dietary Department works extra hours the week before Christmas to ensure that everyone in the hospital is treated to these yummy cakes. Now that is the true spirit of Christmas. And that's all we have on this week's episode of Colors of India. Do write to us with your suggestions and feedbacks onto our Facebook page. I will see you next week, same time, same show. Goodbye, take good care, and of course, Merry Christmas.